Steve Jobs hit the nail on the head when he said creativity is just connecting things. And honestly, I could not agree more. Back when I was pursuing my master's degree in gifted education, I found myself in a creativity class that completely changed the game for me. This class pushed me to explore a creative activity that would stretch my horizons. And surprisingly, I found my joy in something as simple as capturing those precious moments of my baby daughter back then through photography. Little did I know that this small joy would eventually lead me down the vibrant and imaginative path of scrapbooking. Scrapbooking, as fate would have it, became my ultimate gateway to what the late psychologist Csikszentmihalyi so beautifully described as flow, the magical state when you're completely lost in the present moment. As I delved into scrapbooking, my engagement with it wasn't just fulfilling, but it was genuinely fun. Every photograph became a story, and my imagination was just off the charts, and my creativity just flowed effortlessly. I discovered this wonderful space without judgment where my confidence soared to new heights. And then, like a burst of confetti, it hit me. The creative rest that I found in scrapbooking was the missing piece in my role as an educator. It blended seamlessly into my teaching, and it revealed connections I could never have dreamed of. I welcomed innovation in my teaching methods to truly captivate and engage my students. And as education evolved, when standards changed and the demands shifted, I embraced those new strategies with open arms. That initial spark, ignited by scrapbooking, became the fuel for championing inclusivity and weaving a tapestry of diverse perspectives into my teaching fabric. I get it though. The hustle and bustle of teaching life, planning and assessments and all of the classroom dynamics, it can really truly drain you, both creatively and energetically. And that danger of falling into the monotony trap, it can actually lead to this dwindling enthusiasm from both you and your students. But that's where creative rest swoops in to save the day. And it can become an essential part of your daily routine, whether you're in or out of the classroom. So now let's unpack what this creative rest means for teachers. See, it's about giving yourself permission just to step back when that elusive creative spark seems to have taken a vacation, and especially when you're crafting those innovative lessons that truly captivate your students. It's about carving out time for personal creativity, like a cherished ritual, something that can recharge your imagination, recharge your imaginative batteries, and infuse that fresh dose of excitement and innovation into your teaching. And guess what? It's not about adding more to your already overflowing schedule. It's about creating intentional pockets of time, small sanctuaries where your imagination can roam free, where your passions can reignite, and where your teaching gets that burst of newfound energy. So let's keep this creativity chain chugging along. How about dedicating some time each week for personal creative endeavors, whether it is coloring or doodling or painting or crafting or, getting on that instrument, that guitar, strumming on that guitar or that piano, or if you're like me, diving into scrapbooking. These kinds of creative moments aren't just about aiming for perfection. They're truly about embracing the sheer joy of the process, judgment free. So ever thought about weaving in that touch of nature, let's say, into your day? Outdoor breaks are an answer. If you have a few minutes where you can just soak up the natural world, whether you're in school, in the courtyard, or a garden in your school, or a nearby park, it could just be 5 minutes, whether you do it before school, during your lunch break, or even after that final bell. Just 5 minutes a day in nature can do wonders for your creativity. And here's a little food for thought. Have you ever considered diving into the world of books just for pure pleasure? Even dedicating just 5 to 10 minutes a day can work wonders. And the best part is your choice of reading material does not even have to have any connection to teaching at all. Speaking of books, I just recently wrapped up the Steal Like an Artist audio trilogy by Austin Kleon, and it is a fantastic example of a book that can ignite creativity and provide fresh perspectives. So when you dive into these creative pursuits, it's like unlocking secret doors in your mind, doors that lead to remarkable pathways beyond your everyday routines. And the best part is this creative energy isn't just confined to you, it spills over into your teaching as well. And it breathes life and innovation into your teaching. So let's explore how you can sprinkle some creative magic into your classroom and extend this creative rest to your students. You can give your students a break from the rigidity of textbooks, from the strict curricula, and from standardized learning with creative rest. And it's, also about nurturing their imagination and their original thinking and getting them to keep their creative juices flowing by mixing things up. So here are 3 ways that you can extend this creative rest to your students. The 3 ways we're going to review are number 1, creative projects, number 2, cultural exploration, and number 3, cozy reading corner. So let's dive into topic number 1, providing ways for students to integrate their personal creative passions into their learning. So imagine your students pouring their passion into crafting a podcast that reflects their unique style. Or how about flexing their digital muscles by designing a website that showcases their newfound knowledge? And never underestimate the power of multimedia digital storytelling. With their creativity unleashed, students can create in new ways that highlight their strengths and their interests. To guide me in creating options for students to showcase their learning, I turn to Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences. But there's more. We're going to jump into topic number 2, which is about cultural exploration. What if your classroom could become a lively gateway to cultures from all corners of the globe? Well, through art and music and literature and even the world of delicious food, you can introduce lessons that dive into different cultures. Your students will embark on a journey that broadens their horizons. Imagine them immersing themselves in the melodies of different cultures through music and exploring diverse perspectives through literature, and even whipping up authentic dishes that bring the flavors of the world to their taste buds. It's an adventure that fosters empathy, respect, and it celebrates the richness of diversity. I once organized a literature exposition day every year as a culminating activity for my students, and they were immersed in cultural attire, food, music, literature, and more from around the world. And now that you've had a taste of cultural exploration, let's move on to topic number 3, cozy reading corner. Envision creating a serene, snug corner in your classroom where students can retreat with a book or magazine during designated quiet reading time. Along with books and magazines, consider adding graphic novels and short stories or collections of poetry, just to the mix, even audiobooks as well. And enhance the comfort in this area too by adding soft cushions and bean bags or cozy chairs or soft lighting. And at one point, I even had mini rugs, bean bags, and a small sofa in my classroom, which created this corny dorm room type vibe for my students. You could also include soft blankets and rugs, plush rugs, and curtains to establish that cozy ambiance. And you can even use wall decals and posters and artwork related to literature and reading, to create that right atmosphere. And you might even encourage students to bring their own pillows and stuffed animals or personal items or their favorite quotes related to reading that personalizes that reading corner for them, so it truly becomes their space. And this corner will undoubtedly become a haven that nurtures your students' love for reading. It will fuel their imagination, and it will provide a space for them to unwind in the world of words. So In a nutshell, we've explored 3 wonderful ways to infuse creative rest in your classroom. So let's quickly sum up our journey. Number 1, we talked about creative projects where students delve into their passions and let their imagination soar. Number 2, we talked about an exploration of art, music, literature, and the flavors from around the world. And number 3, we talked about the Cozy Reading Corner, which is a snug space where students can lose themselves in the magic of words. So thank you for joining us on this enlightening discussion. Your openness to learning and embracing new horizons truly make this restful teacher journey extraordinary. But before you go, let me leave you with this gem. Weaving creative rest into your routine isn't about a total overhaul. It's about those small moments where you dare to experiment with creativity and teaching methods, and you explore hobbies, or you just simply let your thoughts wander freely. These creative pockets will not only bring joy, but also invigorate your teaching, and it will nurture your spirit. So as you embark on this world of limitless creative possibilities, remember the wise words of Einstein: creativity is intelligence having fun. So it's your time to dive into creative rest and reignite your brilliance. How will you infuse creativity into your classroom and daily routine?